Morning, everybody. All right, so from what I remember, you guys started to roll out your slabs on Wednesday, correct? Can anybody confirm that? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yes, okay. All right, cool. And I believe I also had you guys watch the beginning video for forming your slab. Sorry, I'm like trying to do multiple things at once. You know what, I'm gonna keep going with attendance and then I'll talk. So you guys can just, we will be working with clay. So if you guys need to get yourselves ready, get your clay set up, get your workstation set up, you guys can do that. And then I'll try this again in a minute. So just so you guys have a heads up, probably maybe 15, 20 minutes into class, I'm gonna ask that we start to aim our cameras at our workspace. I did that with my last class and I found it so helpful because I thought we were going to get through more, but because I could physically see where everyone was, I realized that we needed most of the class to just finish the one task. So not only does that help me to know the pace at which we should be moving, but it's a good way for me to get participation points for you guys. So what I can do is start to just mark off whether or not you're working. And, you know, again, that's very helpful to me. So I will be posting a progress assignment for the end of the period. So I just want to see how far we've gotten. So upload that. But again, having you guys work on camera is a good backup just in case for some reason you can't get a photo in, even though I do want one from everyone because those allow me to see close-ups. It allows me to see you know, details of these so I can make suggestions. So for example, I'm going to be looking to make sure that our seams when we start to close our mugs are nice and smooth, they're connected well. So so those progress photos help with things such as that. Okay, I'm done with attendance, so now I can focus a little bit better. Just want to quickly review. So if you guys watched the 5-minute video on forming the cylinder shape, I know it was a while ago, but can anyone in the chat or verbally remind us what is the term needed or the term for what we need to do before we form our slab? So we cut it out, and then what do we need to do to the edges before putting them together and meeting those ends? I feel like I can't hear anything. Thank you. Yes, beveling. Very good. So just a reminder, I think what I'm going to do is replay that video for all to watch. But yes, beveling is one of the new important things we're learning. So the goal for today, if you guys were able to successfully wrap your slabs up and they retained all their moisture, the goal is for you guys to cut those into shape, transfer your images by tracing with your templates, and then beveling the sides and getting them into that cylindrical shape. So, like I said,
mine's already in a cylinder shape.
Okay, so you can start to work on the bottom then.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so good. Okay, yeah, I think some of my classes work at different paces. So, I mean, yes, that's the goal for most of you, but if you guys are ready and you have it already shaped, then you can start to work on your bottoms. Like I said, I have the 2 different tutorials. You have the flat bottom and the tripod bottom. So the choice is yours. But same thing, I'm gonna be looking for those connections. So if you're doing the tripod, I wanna see that the bottom has been nice and smooth. There's no seams left over, and same thing with the interior. So if you're doing the tripod, you need to remember add those coils in so you can smooth those out so you don't have a bunch of cracks in there. And if you're doing the flat bottom, again, I'm gonna be looking right along the bottom edge to see that those have been connected. So I will get that video going just in case anybody needs a reminder. But other than that, it's just a work period. And like I said, in maybe 5 to 10 minutes, once we're all set up, I'll have you guys angle your cameras down so we can see the work. It also just feels like more of a ceramics class if we can see us all physically working. So let's see, get that set up and then I will stop talking.
Now that
And I apologize if the volume is a little loud. I'm in the classroom, so I can not hear as well. So I have things loud for me. So I'm sorry if it is deafening to you guys. So maybe adjust that before I start to share my loud video voice. And if anyone got my announcement yesterday, I'm leaving immediately after this class to deliver clay if you requested it. Other than that, you guys are welcome into the building to get more if you need it. And yeah, I think that's it. Because I think the school closes again for once we leave for winter break. So if you think you'll need more even into the January area, then I would recommend grabbing that. Okay, we'll play this.
we have our slab cut to size, the first thing we want to do is go back to the templates that we created with our sketches. The idea behind sketching these out to size is that we can transfer the image onto the clay. This will be much easier while the slab is still flat, as opposed to trying to draw your imagery when the mug is in the round. Even if you plan on adding sculptural pieces to your mug, doing this will give you guidelines for where you want to place those sculptural items. For example, by the time I get to that paw print, I do plan on making it an additive piece, but by having the outline, I know where I need to put everything down so that it looks like I want it to. So all I'm doing now is using something sort of pointed but still a little blunt so that I'm not tearing the paper, and I'm just going over my designs so that the pressure of my tool will leave a vague outline on my slab. These guidelines might get a little bit lost as you start to put your mug together, but it should last just enough so that you can refine it when it comes time to finalizing the designs on your mug. And this is the end result that I will refine later on. So now we get into actually forming our mug. You want this to be soft, but not too soft. If you start to lift your slab and you notice that it is stretching and losing its shape, it is a little too soft and you should probably let it sit for a minute or so. Maybe hit it with the blow dryer so that it can get a tiny bit firmer. If it does not retain its shape, you will not get an even mug. Do not with your slab just yet, but notice as I start to form this into a cylindrical shape, those edges will be very hard to meet up as is. So what you need to do first is bevel the short ends of your slab. Beveling simply means to create a slope or an angle. If you recall from the making a slab video, I asked you to cut this out so that your ends are 90 degrees, but we need to make it so that the short ends are actually 45 degrees. Right now, I'm just going to lightly mark my ends so that you see what I mean. Eventually, I will go along that mark and cut all the way down. Now, this part is very important, and I try to show this as best as I can. If you were to imagine this edge as a very, very long rectangle, you need to make it so that the two 45-degree bevels are parallel. So that means that if this really long rectangle were a shape, it would be an equilateral, not a trapezoid. So this is the way that I find the easiest to actually bevel your ends. If you lay your slab flat and simply angle your cutting tool at that 45 degrees, you can slowly start to cut that edge off, and what you cut off will end up being triangular in shape. Now, since the other end needs to be angled in the same direction, I will end up doing an undercut, which I don't particularly prefer. You are welcome to do it, but what I actually like to do instead is flip my slab over and then cut my other end from the back, and it will still end up being a parallel cut. Now you are ready to form your mug. It actually doesn't matter which way this is facing, but as we have learned, it is very important to score and slip. So I am scoring the beveled ends that I've just created. So I slip to just one end, and from here I can start to stand my mug up and slowly form it into a cylindrical shape. You will begin to see the purpose for beveling our ends because it allows our mug to overlap without creating a fat or thick part on the mug. So you should line up those beveled ends, and what I'm doing here is I'm pressing from both the inside and the outside to create a strong bond. This is perhaps the most important part of the process because if you don't get a strong connection where your mug connects, it will possibly pop open and you have just rendered yourself a useless mug. Once you have pressed your ends together, you can blend that seam over, making sure that you're actually moving the clay and not simply just petting it. If you like the look of the raw seam, you can actually leave it showing, but you must be confident that you have really connected your ends well. And this might be the trickiest part in this video. You need to also try to blend the interior seam. You can use your finger, you can use any tools you might have, but this part is important if you want this to eventually be a functional mug. If you can get your inside seam to look a little like this, I'd say you've done a pretty good job. The last thing I'm doing at this point is taking my wet sponge and running it along the top lip of my mug. I'm doing this to make the lip of the mug a little bit more soft and more welcoming in the event that I eventually drink out of this. I'm just gently reforming it now back into its circular shape, and you are halfway there.
I'll wait a little bit before I play the other videos, but how about this? Let's take a minute and angle our camera so that I can see you guys working. Again, that'll help me to know when would be an appropriate time to start playing the next video.
Yeah, I have to restart also because it like literally was cracking. Like I had it in the cylindrical form, but like it would not like look at it. I'll show you.
So basically these dried over the weekend.
Like I don't know if you can see it, but it's like I don't know. I beveled it.
Yours looks soft enough though. So if it's cracking, those are probably very small cracks that you can just sponge or rib over. As long as, okay, yeah, like Daniela, if you see hers is actually breaking. Small cracks are not that big of an issue. So can you guys hold
where's
that
Daniela's?
up? Daniela, can you hold that up so other people can see, you know, I just want to help you guys compare. So yeah, if yours is doing what Daniela's is doing, if you guys could look at hers,
Okay.
that's not good. You guys probably need to restart, but Bree, yours, like I said, it looks soft. So are you getting large, like structural cracks, or are you just getting small surface cracks?
Like small surface cracks.
Yeah, that's just gonna happen with clay because we're stretching it, but I think you can keep going with what you have instead of starting
So
over.
should I re-bevel it and then do it again?
Did you lose your bevels?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I would just, you know, touch them up again so that they're nice and angled. Yeah, so they, like I said, to everybody, you know, these small cracks, that's just unavoidable with clay, but those are things that can be taken care of if we just, like I said, even if you want to take like a finger covered with slippy water and just run your fingers over it, that slip will fill in those small cracks. It's when it starts to structurally break is when it's going to be an issue. So it sounds like you guys are probably on the same page as the other class where some of us had our slab survive, some didn't. So hopefully, like I said, by the end of the period, we'll be pros at rolling these slabs and hopefully get them into that cylindrical shape.
Tomac,
Yes.
do you know if I'm getting any extra, if I'm getting clay delivered? Because I don't remember.
I don't have you. Do you need that?
Yeah, I could use some clay.
All right, let me add you down, and I'm gonna message you. I'm gonna look up your address. I'm just gonna message you to make sure that that's correct, whatever Genesis has on file.
All right.
By the way, it's pajama day. I don't know if anybody's celebrating, but that would be another nice thing if we can see our workspaces. Is anyone participating in the ugly sweater contest?
I wear ugly clothes every day.
You gonna submit a photo?
Yeah, all I have to do is put on a sweater.
That'd be funny. I was gonna make one. I went to the dollar store to get a bunch of really weird ornaments, but they were like fully depleted of everything. So, oh well. I'd
Yeah,
probably have spent. What's that?
I made a really bad template.
Oh, for your mug. What's bad about it? The shape or the sketch?
Well, the sketches aren't the greatest, but you know they'll serve their purpose. But I made it a little big.
Oh, if you start to form it and you think it's too big, you can always trim it down. Plus, remember, clay shrinks, so it'll if it's a little too big, that'll take care of itself. But if you think it's like too tall or something.
Not even.
All right, Alex, just check chat and let me know if that's right.
Yep, you're good.
Cool. How is the volume of that video? So if I play background music, is that going to be too loud?
I can just lower my volume.
This is true. It's just that initial when I start it, it's like kind of startling, but wake you guys up, I guess.
How do you get your slab to not stick to the surface when you're rolling it?
Are you working over top of the canvas?
No, I'm working on. I forgot I had a canvas. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a good way to get it to not stick.
Okay, Miss Holmock.
Yes.
So I'm running into the same problem. I like beveled it, and now look. Do you see like the cracks and stuff that I'm getting?
Yeah.
And like, look, it's not staying together. Wait, I don't know if you can even see.
I feel like hold it so that I can see like through it like this.
I don't even know if you can see. Where's my camera? There it is.
Okay, I was gonna say first it looked a little thin, but I think that's good. Okay. Hold up the cracks again.
There's like one down the Christmas tree.
Oh. Okay.
And there's like a bunch
Yeah,
over here.
all right, you're losing it as you continue to show me. Okay,
Just redo it.
unfortunately, it's probably just to start it over. I know. Practice, you guys will all be pros. I know, I mean, ideally we would have rolled it out and formed it in the same time. I just felt like that would have been so much information to try to jam pack in. Is anybody having success? Give us a little glimmer of hope.
I am using a lot of clay.
Using a clay. Yeah, you'll end up trimming a lot off. I would think if you're matching the template.
My clay is just like getting old and like drying out, even though like I add water and like try to take care of it.
Yeah. It's just something you'll need to consistently keep like sponging it. Like, so if once you roll it to shape, I would hit it with the sponge, because as you work with it, it's just, it just happens. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it.
I finished the first part of my drawing of my paper pot.
You finished the drawing of it? Nice.
Yes.
So are you ready to start forming it? That is a tall paper mug. Okay. Oh, hi, dog. Well, if you think it is sufficient, remember I said very little white of the paper showing, then you can start to put it together.
I did it a little different than you.
I would think so. It shouldn't be a total copy.
No, I did it like completely different.
That's okay.
Can you look at it? Because there is a little bit of white, but that's just part of the design.
Okay.
Now I'm having the opposite issue with the sticking.
What do you mean?
It's sticking to the rolling pin.
Oh. Maybe, let's see, what can we do? Try flipping it every now and then so that the part that's on the canvas, which would be a little bit drier. Yeah, I ran into that issue too. These aren't, I mean, the fact that the rolling pins are very slim doesn't help. If you have cornstarch, that's always something you can do to keep it from sticking.
I mean, if I had cornstarch, I'd make it into
Or
oobleck.
how, what's that?
If I had cornstarch, I'd mix it with water, because it's just cool to look at.
Oh, that thing with the, like, yeah.
Could
The
you-
other thing is if you have enough canvas, you can kind of fold it over so your clay is sandwiched into the canvas while you roll it.
I guess I could color in the background if you want me to.
I think that would be cool. Just add it with little designs. Let's see. I'll be right back. At least if you guys are struggling with these slabs, the nice thing about them is that they're like instantly done once you get the slab right. It's not like building it up slowly with the coils. That's why I thought these would be a favorite.
For some reason, the pinch pot is still my favorite. I guess I must have not done any other pot.
I was gonna
clay.
say, I think that's because that's the only one that you actually did.
I should be able to do the next project.
What's that?
I'm probably going to be able to do the next project.
Oh, good.
Man, all my Among Us hats are now slip.
Is that your choice?
Yeah,
Aw.
my dad. Oh no, he couldn't. He moved my thing and he crushed everything.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. At least my Among Us guy is still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. When one of my practice pinch pots, just a tiny piece, I was trying to crush it up, and it was kind of hard to break. So some things can be very delicate, and some actually get really strong if they're thick enough.
Something really satisfying about this.
Was that?
Something really satisfying about rolling out this clay.
Yeah, I agree. Clay is always satisfying.
Wait, so my question is, like, you know how we had to do the progression photos?
Yeah.
Since I had to restart, should I just take a picture of my slab?
Yeah, if you only get as far as the slab, that's fine.
I think that the hardest part about this is like the fact that we had to wait throughout the weekend.
Yeah, that's. I took a risk with that. I kind of knew some of us probably. That's why I told you guys to quadruple bag it. I thought that would help.
Yeah, I had it triple bagged.
Did you?
And I put saran wrap on it too.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know, I guess it's like too cold because I kept it on my back porch.
That would do it probably. Yeah, it's not really good for clay to get cold. So that's the other thing I made in my announcement. If I'm dropping clay off, I'm gonna email anybody right away. Make sure it doesn't stay outside too long, because if clay freezes, I forget the exact scientific reason, but it's not good for it. It makes it harder to work with. Let's see.
Do I have to take progress photos?
Yeah.
Can I just tell you where I am?
I'd like a photo so that I can remember what I'm looking at. Make suggestions if needed.
I don't think at this point you can make suggestions since I'm already drawing into the background. So at this point, I mean, I'm trying to do it as lightly as possible in the background so I can at least add things, but it's going to be difficult.
Whatever you can get done. I'd say for you, maybe another day decorating. So the rest of today. So Nick's asking, can you turn slip into plastic? Yes, slip will turn into plastic eventually. I can show you guys. Oh, I don't have any out now. Basically, you would just lay the slip out, preferably on like a piece of canvas or something that will help soak up the moisture, because if it's on something that's hard and it won't absorb it, then it'll stay wet longer. But yeah, as long as you let it sit out, it will slowly start to dry and turn plastic. It just takes a long time. So that's something that if you're going to try to turn your slip into plastic, you really need to pay attention to it, because if you leave it out for too long, then you're just back with clay that's too hard. But at least if it doesn't get bone dry, I guess you could reclaim it. So if you leave it out too long and it turns leather, then it's still reclaimable, but it's really once it's into its bone dry state that it just disintegrates once it hits water. I'll try to show you guys if anyone's interested in the reclaiming that goes on at school. I had this 25-pound bag of clay that had gotten completely bone dry. So what I did was I just put water in the bag and I submerged that bag into water because the pressure of the water around the exterior kind of forces that water in, over a long amount of time, so I don't have to like wait for it. Then get all this nice goopy clay. I have plaster baths, which are really nice for soaking up moisture. So what I would do is I would just fill this all with this slip and then I would let it sit for hours. So actually at the amount that I do, I've left this out about probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon, come back the next day and it was still plastic and it was actually a pretty perfect amount. So it took 24 hours for it to get firm enough to actually be able to work with. That's why I say it takes a long time, but if you're doing it on a smaller scale, it would likely go faster. I also just loosely covered it too because I didn't want the top part to dry out too much. This lovely pile of slip. Actually, here's a cool example. I did these before we left for break, and it's actually still soft. Almost too soft. So this has been sitting here for, I don't know, 2.5 weeks. Still drying. I'm actually kind of surprised at that. So that's another thing. If you're gonna try this, I can lift it. It's still a little soft, but I'm gonna flip it so that the top part is getting the connection to the plaster, which sucks the water out. I'm gonna wash my hands now.
Miss Holmock, I took like the world's I took like the world's biggest piece of clay and tried to roll it out, and it's still not big enough for my slab.
Are you restarting every time it's not big enough?
No.
You're just adding?
Yeah.
Why don't you, because that looks like you have a lot of excess on the side, so I would trim some of it off the side and then add that to the top part where it needs to be.
Okay.
Try to make it longer.
How long does slip have to sit to become plastic?
Depends on how much I would say and how much it's covered. Because like I said, that slip or that that clay that I let sit out, I left it out probably starting November 24th, and now it's December 14th, and it still needs to dry a little. But I had it covered. So if you're gonna try it, how much are you gonna try to recycle?
About a few ounces. I don't know.
Yeah, just a little bit. I would put it out.
Ooh, the entirety of my hats, but made as slip.
I would start by checking on it. Maybe it also depends on how thin you lay it out. So let's say you lay it out so it's half an inch thin sitting. I would check on it maybe after an hour, see how it does. Maybe flip it over if you need to, if the top part's getting a little dry or the bottom's getting dry. I would say that. Check on it maybe hourly, and you can tell for yourself kind of if you need to let it sit out longer or if it's good.
Yeah, I think I'm actually ready. Like I think I'm done. It actually looks pretty good.
Okay. I can't wait to see you try to drink out of your paper mug.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
wonder what will happen to the
I
paper.
do too.
For some reason, I think paper falls apart in water or something. I don't know who told me that. I just wonder.
You just wonder.
I just wonder.
Now I'm really curious to try making a paper mug and seeing if I can coat it with enough stuff to make it water resistant.
What if you did a paper mug and then put clay inside the paper mug and have the design on the outside, and then the clay would take in the water?
Well,
Science.
wouldn't you need to fire that clay before
Yeah,
it?
but if you just did a bottom and then like edges like separate, and then you fired those, and then you put it in like with this, or you pre-fire the clay and then you like attach it. I just don't know how you would attach it. It's my little question.
Yeah, I think at that point you're better off just making a clay mug without the paper.
But I don't know. I have to make sure I don't overlap because nobody wants an overlapped paper mug.
Nope. Just a show of hands. Who completely regrets taking virtual pottery?
What?
I like the honesty.
Why
Half
would
so and so.
Why would
I
you
have
consider
been-
taking virtual pottery? What? Why?
That
I've been enjoying myself with virtual pottery.
I know. I know it stinks. This would be a little different if I could
That's like
actually help.
I
class.
literally had to take my nails off for this class because I was getting so tired of having to like scrape the clay out from underneath of them every single day.
Oh, I've done that
Same.
too. I was taking a course in college and I had tips on and I just bit them off in the middle of class one day.
With
I had to
clay
cut
on?
my nails for this class.
Did someone say
Alex.
my name?
I said you just bit your nails off with clay on them?
Yeah. I was trying to throw on the wheel and it just wasn't working, so gnawed them
Very
off.
hard. I'm overlapping. I don't care. This is way too
That's
hard.
yeah.
This would be easier with two hands.
Why do you only have one hand?
That's not what I mean. I mean like two people.
Oh, come on.
It really is difficult. Stop judging me.
It's helping you with your fine motor skills.
My motor skills. Oh, they don't have any more.
You don't have any motor skills? I thought you played sports.
I said anymore. I haven't done it
Anymore.
forever.
I'm trying to help you keep them fresh and functioning.
Oh, seriously? I get the tape on and you don't stick? I see how it is.
You're having as hard of a time as everyone with the clay.
Eh. Come on. Okay. Down. stick. Okay, I just wasted a piece of tape because I put it too short on the edge. Let's go.
I'm opening up the progress assignment in case anyone is ready to just do that and get it out of the way. Remember, I'm not looking for any specific amount done, just whatever you have. But also keep in mind that we have until next week. So
Quick
hopefully,
question. Do we have to do the tripod for this?
I just figured that would be easier for you. You can do a flat bottom if you want.
Yeah, I got it now. Finally. And we don't decorate the bottom, right?
No,
'Cause you
you
didn't.
don't. You can sign it.
I have the worst handwriting probably in this entire class. So
Maybe we'll have a contest. Everyone will submit their signatures and then we'll see whose is the least legible.
it's gonna be me.
See?
I'm 99% sure.
And
That's
even
good.
with this positivity assignment, you still just want to rain on
Alex, I'm pretty sure has seen my handwriting.
Me?
Yeah,
I forgot it, Max.
it was the same as it was in third grade. It hasn't changed, Alex. It actually might have gotten worse.
Maybe.
I think she graduated, but was anyone friends with Heaven Cartwright?
I have no clue who that is.
She was taking pottery and her nails were like, I don't know, out to here. I have no idea how she did it.
Yeah, I know Heaven. I don't know how she did it either.
Oh my gosh.
It's called a magic trick.
Yeah.
There was no nails. She was just tricking me that entire time.
Max,
Yes,
were we in kindergarten together?
probably in multiple classes. Alex, who was your teacher in kindergarten?
Musto.
Yeah, we had the same kindergarten teacher.
Oh my god, Miss Musto stole my toy snake and still hasn't given it back.
Miss Musto put me in timeout for sneezing too loudly.
Were you doing it on purpose?
Nope, I had a loud sneeze. I had it forever. Alex knows the sneeze. He should.
Yeah. Man.
I
It
will
was like
never.
one of those cool wooden snakes that pinched your fingers whenever you turned it.
I remember in 6th grade, I sneezed so loudly that a teacher down the hall said she heard my sneeze.
Oh my god.
She came
Well,
into
if you
class
sneeze
to
in
tell
this
you that she
class-
heard the sneeze.
If you
What
sneeze
else?
in this class, you're getting kicked out.
No.
Yep. All right, guys.
Well, pretty sure it's
Um,
not permitted to be at school. So.
all right, really quickly, it's 12:24, so you guys have about 6 minutes. So I'd say it's a good time to probably wrap up what you're doing and literally wrap up your mugs. If you still need to form the bottom, same thing. Okay, well, if you're adding the flat base, it's not as pertinent that you keep it moist, but if you're doing the tripod base, since we need to form it and you want to avoid those cracks, might be a good idea to add a moist paper towel to your mug before wrapping it, just to keep it wet enough. And if you, like I said, take a quick snapshot, get that uploaded so that I can see that we're all on the right page. Like I said, we only have a week, so hoping we can actually
Miss
knock
Holmoff, I'm gonna keep working so I can just like try to get it out of the way, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna upload a picture afterwards because I don't really feel like trying to wrap a slab. I feel like
That's
just
fine.
Too
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah. I feel bad asking anyone to work through lunch, but that's not a bad idea.
Thank
Quick
you.
question. Quick question.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Just I wanted to ask is for the flat bottom, if I were to do it, I would cut out a spherical shape and then if I did get it on without like having a hard time, because it's gonna be hard because it's putting paper on flat bottom. So what?
I'm gonna try to verbally explain what I have in mind for a flat bottom. So what you would probably want to do is cut out a circle that's too big and then cut little snips along the edge so that you can fold them up and then you kind of get like a rim around it, and then you can either tape it to the outside, but then you might cover up your design, but also you could also just stick it, hopefully, like if this is your mug, you can stick it like in the interior a little, and that'll probably make it easier than trying to just tape it flat. Does that make any sense?
I guess so.
Yes, so.
Yeah. Also, I may be able to walk in the next 2 to 3 months. Let's go.
You might what?
I may be able to walk in the next 2 to 3 months, but we'll see.
Ooh, everyone, Max can walk soon.
I can walk with only crutches and my brace for now.
For all we know, you've been in that couch for the last month straight,
Basically,
basically.
first week wasn't the greatest. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I'm glad you'll be functioning, a functioning human again soon.
I'm gonna use the slip as an excuse to not clean up yet.
Okay.
I think I just got an idea about how I'm going to put the paper bottom on. I just want to see if it will work.
Solmach?
Yeah.
How come whenever I finish doing pottery, my slippers feel really dusty?
Your slip gets dusty?
Yeah,
Oh,
my
so much
slippers.
clay dust you put on your floor.
It's like I'm walking on powder. Like somebody powdered my
Any
slippers.
clay that, like right now, I still have clay on my hands from what I just did. That's such a small amount that it dries so fast that, yeah, it's just dust.
Did you put up the slab progress? Okay, cool. I'm gonna put up my paper slab progress.
You got it. Can't
I'm
wait to
sure.
see it.
I'm trying to do it through Google Classroom. Please tell me it up. Google Classroom. I had like the easiest day of school today. I've never had it this easy.
Why was it so easy?
Every teacher let me out early today, except for this class, but I'm not complaining. I'm not even kidding. Because we have everything like done up to this point.
Is it because you sneezed too loud?
No, it's because some people are behind and stuff, and they're not, and other things are because we got, and some classes were ahead. But
Well,
How
I'm
many
sorry
pictures
that
do
I
you want?
kept you the full duration of this class.
how many pictures do you want on my paper? Because I have it like I already have it taped, so I'll try to get you like the one with
This
the.
one's fine.
I'll try to get one with the most stuff on it. Well, that's terrible. You have to see the snowman with the carrot.
Well, snowman.
I made a mistake on mine, and then I fixed it into a snow globe.
Good.
Quick thinking, you know?
Well, I think by the next time I see you guys, it'll be a very snowy day, so it's exciting.
Well, the next time we probably start a project, it will be.
It'll be a new year.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let you guys go. So, like I said, get those videos up, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and wrap your clay up well.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye, Miss Solmach.
Bye. See ya. I'll email you when the clay is at your doorstep. I think he left. Okay.